Prabhas and Rana Dagupati, such a pleasure to have you both here. How are you?
Very well, sir. Thank you.
And yourself?
Good, thank you.
It's a very exciting time. Your film here is screening at the Royal Albert Hall with a live orchestra. This is a magical moment. How does it feel for both of you?
Well, the honor that this film has been garnering over time, I mean, it's been many years from the release, and we get to do these events over and over again, right? I think it's firstly a huge honor, and then we've heard of the Albert Hall, we've seen other things at places like this, but viewing our own film, I think we just got a little sneak peek while we're doing our sound check and the others in the hall. I think it's quite amazing to go back and watch that.
This is your film, both of your film, but you're the title character as well. There must be a sense of, I believe, maybe disbelief that this is happening?
The part one, the result was little like, it took us time for the result and it was amazing, and part two was even more bigger. And now we came here for London after 2 years of Bahubali success. And I think it's still going on, and it's like always exciting whenever we hear.
You know what I find incredible is that the Royal Albert Hall chooses a selection of films every year to recreate with a live orchestra. This is the first time they're doing this with an Indian film. And most people would think it would be a Bollywood film, and they haven't gone for a Bollywood film. They've gone for the highest grossing Indian film of all time. It makes sense to go with Bahubali. But is that a big achievement for not just you personally, but for the Telugu film industry?
I mean, see, Bahubali itself was, yes, of course, for the Telugu industry, it kind of changed India in terms of the cinematic language that it has. And now you see so many more spectacle-based films coming. It kind of opened this floodgate to saying, here you go. And now we're on that world stage and we can do cinema that's as big as the rest of the world does.
You know, for you as well, Prabhas, Rana, of course, has worked in Bollywood for many years. He was in Dum Maro Dum and he was in Baby and several other films. But for you, your gateway to Bollywood has opened post Bahubali and the success of it, and most recently we saw that in Saho. For you, do you feel like too much emphasis is put on Bollywood, on the Hindi film industry? Because you guys have been making award-winning films for years, decades.
It's not like that. Bahubali worked, so it can be Bollywood, Tollywood, or any part of the country. But Bahubali worked magic, which Rajmouli's magic, the producers, whatever did. So it's not like that. So it's even Bollywood or South or East or West. Anyway, it's a part of the country.
Were you surprised when you saw this film break through? There have been other films. The thing is, in the 90s, we had films like Humse Hai Muqabla or Bombay from Tamil cinema that were dubbed and were big hits. Telugu cinema never made a massive impact in the northern part of India until Bahubali. Were you surprised by that breakthrough?
So actually, not so huge, but 30-40 years back, a film called Shiva, which directed by Ram Gopal Verma, also gave great impact around the country. But Bahubali was, it crossed the boundaries and all. But yeah, we wanted the film to be big, and we didn't expect, especially not to be so big. But I think everywhere it reached in the same way where Telugu audience, we thought they'll love it if the film is good. Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, North, I don't know, and Japan and all.
It's incredible because you spent 4.5 years making both parts of the movie, and now we're sitting here 2 years on from the second part, still celebrating its legacy. Do you sometimes wonder, will I ever be able to do anything bigger or better than this film?
Well, this is a mythology of its own, right? You don't do anything like this ever, because it's a mythology that's so contained to this world. And you just said we took for about 4.5 years of making it, and many more years of celebrating it, rather. And so, I mean, every time you have that feeling, right, that's probably what defines you as a person. I mean, what is the biggest achievement in your life? And then we've been part of this beautiful thing called Bahubali, and the cinema is always there forever. It lasts forever, and then you're part of a film like this, which will really last there till the end of time.
But when you work with a magician really like S.S. Rajamouli, and you have co-stars like Prabhas or Anushka or Tamanna, all of them, do you ever wonder whether you'll be offered something that matches that in terms of brilliance, in terms of cinematic quality?
See, well, that's the thing about Bahubali, right? I mean, there was the time all of us were picked for that movie, and then we started understanding the bigness of that film. Every day we got onto set, you got to see something bigger. we started seeing it. See, you got to start seeing it in parts, right? You go to set, this weapon is used for the first time by any actor ever in a movie. This chariot came here for the first time, or this palace is built for the first time, or these sequences are designed, right? So it kept inspiring us to do it as we were doing it. And then post that, there's nothing to tell. We're talking here at the Albert Hall.
You guys spent more time making this movie than most people spend getting a degree from university, because that's how long...
This is our degree. This is way beyond our degree. We grew... I was in my late 20s when I started the film. I ended up in my mid-30s by the time I was out. So, we really grew up there as people. There's a lot that has changed. We understood so much, learned so much. And so much camaraderie between all of us. That's something that... These are memories that you'll never forget.
Prabhas, I was standing outside just now and I already saw the excitement for the fans who want to see you guys. They want to see you in person because they know you're attending the Royal Albert Hall today. Do you feel a certain responsibility that comes with this stardom, or that comes with this level of fame? Because yes, the Telugu film industry has its own star system, but Rana described it quite well in another interview. He said you were at the top of the pyramid before, and now you've cemented your place there, and there's no space for anybody else to get up there too.
So yeah, it's very hard because Bahubali 1 and 2, people were waiting for part 1 and they waited for 2 years and it was part 2 and it was even more bigger. So, they expect a lot after that, and Rajamouli made superheroes, me, Balal Deva and all. So it's not easy, but if you should be, I think I should be very careful. We should be very careful for the next films after Bahubali 1, 2 films. But the story is good. I think you need to be careful, very careful with the stories, and you need to think about the audience also when you select the stories for few years. Then I think they'll
be fine.
And each film to its own, right? After that, every story takes on its own journey.
Finally then, there's Mrunal Thakur, who's currently shot Bahubali Before the Beginning, which is a Netflix original series. I sat down with S.S. Rajamouli a few months ago, and a couple of years ago, and I said, look, I know it was only intended to be part 1 and part 2, but there's an obvious part 3 here in Bahubali The Resurrection. He sounded quite up for it. Would you guys be up for reprising those characters?
Anything to go back to going back into that world, we'd probably do. We like watching it, we like shooting for it, we like doing everything associated with that film.
Bahubali is like always there.
Yeah.
When we do a film, we don't do it's there till the end, because it's
anything to be associated with, we'll always be part.
It'll be the most exciting thing again.
Yeah.
Amazing. I can sense that excitement right now. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Very much.
Thank you.
Asian Network.